Hello, assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope all of you are fine and staying at home. You know, the situation of pandemic is deteriorating day by day, and that is why we should be much more aware and maintain social and physical distance in order to keep ourselves safe. In the last class, I delivered a lecture on pragmatics and discourse analysis from your third year honors course, Introduction to Linguistics. And today, I will talk about some other concepts related to pragmatics, that is, text, coherence, and cohesion. So, what is a text? Text in literary theory, a text is any object that can be read, whether this object is a work of literature or a street sign, an arrangement of buildings on a city block, or styles of clothing. And coherence is systematic or logical connection in sentences or between sentences. It refers to the unified meanings or semantic unity. Semantics is a branch of linguistics. It is the scientific study of the meanings of words. So semantic unity between ideas, sentences, paragraphs, and any piece of writing. And cohesion means the grammatical and lexical relationship. Lexical is the study of words or vocabulary. So grammatical and lexical relationship between different elements of text. So dear students, let's go for a PowerPoint presentation. So dear students, welcome to my class. There is an introduction of myself as usual, and this slide I'll show you the name of the course, that is Introduction to Linguistics, and the topics are text, coherence and cohesion from Pragmatics. So in the first slide I will talk about text. According to Witteson 1979, a text is a collection of formal objects held together by patterns of equivalence or frequencies, or by cohesive devices. A text may be prose or verse. Verse means poetry or poems, a dialogue or monologue, discussion, and so on. A text is a unit of language in use. Mathematically, we cannot count that a text has 2 or 3 sentences. So it's a unit. And a text is best regarded as a semantic unit. Okay, so the next topic is coherence. The term coherence means the relationships that link meanings of utterances and sentences in a discourse and a text respectively. It means, what is a discourse? In the last class I explained discourse. It means the quality of being logical and consistent, and the quality of forming a unity that makes sense as a whole. In other words, the ways that text makes sense to readers. For example, speaker 1 says, "Could you give me a lift home?" Speaker 2 replies, "Sorry, I'm going to visit my sister." So in the above mini dialogue, there is no grammatical or lexical relation between the question and answer. But the question answer session has one thing, that is coherence, because the first speaker can understand that the second speaker's sister lives in the opposite direction to the first speaker's home. That is why speaker 2 cannot could not give him a lift. So this is coherence. Now I'll talk about cohesion, the third topic of my today's class. So what is cohesion? Cohesion is a semantic concept. It refers to a certain aspect of writing. Literally, the word means to stick together. To stick together, it also refers to the relations of meaning that exist in a text. So Whitison 1979 holds that cohesion cohesion is defined as the overt structural link between sentences as formal items. For example, Jane can make birthday cake. Jane can make birthday cake. I can't. She can make excellently. So here the cohesion expressed in three ties. Number one is the elliptical form, that is I can't. I can just, I only use I can't. I cannot write, I can't make. Here make is omitted. Number two is the reference item, that is she. She refers to Jane. And number three, the lexical repetition, the word that is repeated twice. The lexical repetition, make. In the first sentence I have written make, and the second utterance, she can make excellently. So I have repeated make twice. So by cohesion, language can be explained as a multiple coding system comprising three levels. The first level is meaning. The second one is wording. The third one is sounding and writing. So meaning is related to the semantic system. Wording means the lexico-grammatical system. That means the relationship between grammar and vocabulary. And the third level is sounding and writing, the phonological that is related to sound, and the orthographic system that is related to writing. So this slide shows you the classifications of cohesion. In English language, cohesion is of 5 major types. Number one is reference. Reference is a phenomenon in which we use personal pronouns, demonstratives and adverbs to indicate or refer to some other items. For example, last month I bought a washing machine. It is out of order today. Last month I bought a washing machine. It is out of order today. In the above examples, it refers to washing machine. By this pronoun, reference contributes to cohesion. And reference are categorized into 3 major types. Number one is personal reference. Personal reference indicates person by using pronouns and determiners like I, me, my, mine, it, he, she, his, hers, their, etc. For example, I have already discussed the issue with Rafi. He has accepted our proposals. In the second sentence, he is used to indicate the person Rafi. The second category is the demonstrative reference. The demonstrative reference is a reference by means of a location on a scale of proximity through the use of demonstrative adverbs such as these, this, that, those, here, there, etc. For example, drop this, pick this up, leave that there, and bring those here. And the third one is comparative reference. Comparative reference is indirect reference by means of identity or similarity through the use of such words as same, equal, identical, other, different, otherwise, etc. For example, I have written 3 sentences here. It's the same dog as the one we saw yesterday. It's a similar dog to the one we saw yesterday. And it's a different dog from the one we saw yesterday. So here same, similar, different, these 3 words give us the meaning of the identity or the similarity of one thing, that is dog. Okay. The second category of cohesion is substitution. Substitution is a type of cohesion that maintains relation on the lexico-grammatical level of a sentence in a text. For example, the flower seller cries, red flowers, come and buy one. So here the flower seller is trying to draw attention of the customers by saying red flowers, come and buy ones. Here once means one substitutes for red flowers. Here once refers to the red flowers. And reference, it is of 3 types like nominal, verbal and clausal. Okay, so what is nominal substitution? One and ones always functions nominal substitutions. Verbal substitution, in English, the verbal substitution is do. For example, do you take tea? The answer is yes, I do. So here, in the answer, take is not used. Instead of take, do is used here. So do is the substitution of take. Number 3 is clausal substitution. In clausal substitution, the substitutes so and not are used to replace entire clauses. For example, is there going to be an earthquake? It says so. So here so means the whole clause or the whole sentence. So it is clausal substitution. So here so substitutes the whole clause, that is there going to be an earthquake? So these are all about substitutions. Number 3 is ellipsis. Ellipsis is another category of cohesion. Ellipsis may be explained as something left unsaid, and unsaid implies understood nevertheless. Okay, so for example, a speaker A says, have you had tea? Speaker B replies, yes, I have. So here the second speaker doesn't say yes, I have had tea. He has just said, or she has just said, yes, I have. Here had tea is omitted. So the second speaker doesn't use had tea in his or her reply, but the first speaker can understand what he means. Again, ellipsis is of 3 types. Number 1 is the nominal ellipsis. By this one, we mean ellipsis within the nominal group. For example, which lasts longer, the curved rods or the straight rods? The speaker B replies, the straight are less likely to break. So here the second speaker doesn't use the straight rods. He has just used the straight, the only word straight, and these words straight can express the meaning, or the speaker can express the real meaning of his utterance, that straight rods. So the second speaker doesn't use rods after straight. So here rods has been omitted. The second category is verbal ellipsis. By verbal ellipsis, we mean ellipsis within the verbal group. For example, have you been reading? Have you been reading? And the answer is yes, I have. So here the speaker doesn't say yes, I have been reading. He has just said I have. And the second speaker, what have you been doing? The answer is reading. Here the speaker doesn't say I have been reading. So just have and reading are the examples of verbal ellipsis. The third one is clausal ellipsis. By this one, we mean ellipsis or omission of a modal element or a propositional element in a sentence. For example, speaker A says, Rafi was going to do the sums. Rafi was going to do the sums. Here Rafi was this part is modal element. The second part, that is going to do the sums, is called the propositional element. So what is propositional? Propositional is something which gives is a statement that gives an idea of anything. So what was Rafi going to do? The answer is to do the sums. So the second part of the sentence gives the statement about Rafi. Who is going to do the sums? Rafi is. So Rafi is or Rafi was is are the part of the modal element. Okay. And number 4 is lexical cohesion. This is another category of cohesion. Lexical cohesion is the cohesive effect achieved by the selection of vocabulary. It is of 2 types. Number 1 is reiteration. Reiteration is actually repetition. So reiteration is a cohesion which involves repetition of a lexical item at one end, and the use of a general word to refer back to a lexical item at the other end. and a number of things in between the use of a synonym, near synonym, or superordinate. What is superordinate? Superordinate is a thing that represents a superior order or a category within a system of classification. So a reiteration may be same word, synonym or near synonym, superordinate, and general word. For example, I have written a sentence that is, there is a boy climbing that tree. And again, I have written 4 sentences here. Just the first one, look at the first one. The boy is going to fall if he doesn't care. The second one is, the lad is going to fall if he doesn't take care. And number 3 is, the child is going to fall if he doesn't take care. And the fourth one is, the idiot is going to fall if he doesn't take care. So in the first sentence, boy is the same word, lad is the synonym of the boy, the child is the superordinate, and the idiot is a general word. So in the above sentence, lad, child, idiot are different lexical items that are systematically related to the first one, boy. And the second category of lexical cohesion is collocation. Collocation refers to a group of words that often go together or that are likely occur together. Within this type, there is cohesion between any pair of lexical items that stand to each other. This includes synonym and near synonym like disease, illness, climb, ascent. Number 2 is superordinates like boy, child, or skip, play, etc. Number 3 is complementary. It is boy, girl, stand up, sit down. Antonyms like, hate, wet, dry. Converses, order, obey. Number 6 is pairs of words like north, south, or east, west. Number 5 is conjunction. Conjunction is rather different in nature from the other cohesive relation, from references, substitution, and ellipsis or lexical cohesion. So conjunction are of 4 types. Number 1 is additive. This type of conjunctive element is used simply to add more information to what has already been said with and, or, furthermore, similarly, or in addition. For example, Lee seriously studied all the year and he took help from teacher whenever he needed. Here, and is used to add more information about Lee. Second one is adversative. The basic meaning of the adversative relation is contrary to expectation. It expresses opposition or contrast between 2 statements. Examples are but, still, yet, whereas, while, nevertheless. For example, he worked in the field all the day and no one helped him. Yet he was little aware of being exhausted. Here, yet is a contradiction of the first sentence. Okay, number 3 is causal. Causal relations include the specific ones of result, reason, and purpose. For example, he missed the train and found no other ways of getting there, so he returned home. So he returned home. Here, so is used to give you the meaning of the reason behind his returning home. Number 4 is temporal. Temporal relation refers to the phenomenon of relating new information to what has already been given in terms of time. For example, for preparing an assignment on pragmatics, I went through several articles. Then I started writing my essay. So here, then gives you the meaning of the time that when I started writing my essay. So then is the example of temporal. Okay, so these are all about cohesion, dear student. So dear student, these are all about cohesion and its classification. Let's recap of our today's class. Today I have discussed about text, coherence, cohesion, and its classification. Pragmatic is a large concept. It has many parts. So in the next class, I will come with the rest of the concepts related to pragmatics. So till then, stay fine and stay at home. And thank you for being with me, and Allah Hafiz.